What's good, Shadow Gang? Welcome back to another video. If y'all new here, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, follow me on all my socials and shit. And let's get right into it. We're going to react to What Culture Wrestling. We're going to react to 9 superstars who could debut or return on WWE Raw after WrestleMania 42. I don't know who could return as debut, maybe from the main roster. I could probably see Jada Parker, probably. Definitely some NXT call-ups. Maybe a little Vice. But as far as return, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. So yeah, let's watch the video and let's see what they think. Let's get right into it.
WWE's road to WrestleMania 42 has been chaos, so the Raw after it needs to be massive. And with the show being all about surprises, this year's Raw after WrestleMania could change everything. I'm Andy from What Culture, and here are some superstars who could debut or return on WWE Raw after WrestleMania 42. Yes, Bianca Belair. Missing since WrestleMania 41, WWE has effectively been without Bianca Belair for a whole ass year, and that sucks. She's one of the brightest, most engaging and most exciting stars in the entire company, and not only a great big match wrestler with an awesome catalogue, but a bright babyface presence on weekly television as well. Although we last saw Bianca at Evolution last summer, she has been dealing with a serious finger injury that has kept her sidelined since Mania 41. Details on the increasingly complex injury didn't come to light until earlier this year, when she revealed she had undergone surgery and was finally on the road back. Provided she is ready, the Raw after WrestleMania could make a lot of sense for a big...
I hate these fucking... No!
Bet $10, get $200 in bonus bets.
We're missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We invite you to come to church with us this Sunday.
It is the return show of the year after all, outside of maybe the Royal Rumble, and Bianca is one of the biggest names on the absence list. There's every chance WWE saves it for SmackDown instead, given that her most obvious rival is Jade Cargill, but let's not be fussy. It'd be great to see the EST back on TV regardless of where she lands. Anna Jay. Bit of a controversial one here, as it involves somebody jumping from AEW to WWE. And it's also entirely dependent on her contract. If Anna Jay is still contracted to AEW, then obviously this can't happen. But the situation was looking rather ambiguous at the time of recording this, and with WWE reportedly interested in acquiring her services, I don't think it's too much of a leap at all. You would imagine AEW would be keen to keep Anna on the roster, but they haven't exactly used her a lot in recent times. Her last match came at a Collision taping in November 2025, and she hasn't wrestled on Dynamite since last June. For whatever reason, Anna has pretty much been on the bench. She's still only 27 years old and is a talented young wrestler who came into AEW with minimal experience. Fans have watched her grow and evolve through various eras, and if she feels like it's time for something new in her career, WWE will likely have an offer for her. Fatal Influence. I'm cheating here by putting an entire stable in a single entry, but Fatal Influence are quietly one of the best stables in WWE today, and if the company is looking for a solid NXT call-up on the Raw after WrestleMania, well, they are right there. Jacy Jayne is no longer NXT Women's Champion, having dropped the title to Lola Vice at Stand and Deliver. Theoretically, there is now nothing tangible tethering her and her group to the developmental brand anymore. Jacy is the most ready of the trio, having evolved into an excellent TV performer over the years. Her call-up is probably overdue at this point. But Fallon Henley is pretty great too, and Lainey Reed, despite being the least experienced of the group, is a damn prodigy who would definitely look at home on the main roster. There are plenty of other NXT call-ups that would be interesting too, especially Ethan Page, but Fatal Influence would be a real shot in the arm for the main roster women's division. Paige. Things have been pretty quiet for the former Saraya since leaving AEW last year, at least when it comes to wrestling. Paige hasn't jumped back onto television and has largely been working in the background, whether that be through touring her book, appearing on podcasts, or training for an eventual comeback. comeback. She has spoken openly about her desire to work with WWE again at some point in the future, but up until now, that has not happened. The Royal Rumble felt like a natural spot for a big surprise. For whatever reason, they didn't do it, and Paige is still waiting for the call. It does feel inevitable at this point, however. As a former Divas champion and pre-Women's Revolution fixture of her division, Paige has a lot of stock in WWE, and her music hitting would definitely draw a big reaction. Plus, there's plenty of old material to revisit with old rivals like AJ Lee and new stuff with wrestlers who simply weren't there for her first run. I would be surprised if this didn't happen at some point in 2026, and the Raw after WrestleMania 42 feels like as good a spot as any. She's already proved through her AEW run that she can work, and the injury concerns can be mitigated. Neck issues were the reason she had to step away from WWE in the first place, but she's wrestled plenty of times since then, and hopefully she's in a good spot. Bronson Reed. Big Bronson Reed won't be wrestling anytime soon after a nasty bicep tear in late February, but that doesn't mean it's inconceivable that he returns to TV without fully healing up. He has returned from serious injuries quickly before, and he is almost certainly desperate to get back into the thick of things as part of the vision. But even if he can't wrestle, he can still stand there and look menacing or cut some promos to push stories forward. Lord knows that the stable could use him. The Vision is one of the most snake-bitten stables in WWE history. Seth Rollins got injured while he was still the leader, even if WWE ended up hamming it up. Braun Breaker went down right as things looked full steam ahead for him on the main roster, and Reed hurt his arm before he was reportedly set to dominate the Elimination Chamber. It's all a bit of a downer, really, but with Rollins set to fight Gunther at WrestleMania and Logan Paul and Austin Theory now tag team champions, there have been a clean sweep of changes for the Vision. The stable is definitely a lot cooler with Bronson around, however, so hopefully his recovery and return aren't too far off. Braun Breaker. Speaking of the Vision, Braun Breaker is reportedly cleared for action and ready to go, despite WWE choosing Gunther as Seth Rollins' WrestleMania opponent and not Braun. The hernia Breaker suffered earlier this year has not kept him out for long at all, but WWE seemingly wants to cool it on rushing through the story with Rollins. They might even be saving it for the post-Mania lull. TV often feels like a come down after the biggest show of the year, and this is a big-time rivalry that would help mitigate this. That being said, you could easily have done the match at Mania and just done a bit of a screwy storyline finish, but I digress. Braun has reportedly been working out at the Performance Center, fine-tuning himself before the return, but it looks like he is set to miss out on a WrestleMania match. Nonetheless, there is a chance that he returns during Rollins versus Gunther and not on Raw itself. WWE might want to protect Rollins with the finish to that match, and they probably don't want to have Gunther lose. So Braun interfering to cost Seth the match might make a lot of storyline sense. And whatever happens, I would expect Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins to be one of the biggest WWE storylines of the year. The Rock. Ah, shit. Here we go again. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's looming presence.
Like that, y'all. I never did. Even as not just because like the way he carries himself, just the way he wrestles is just basic in my opinion. Cheap ass catchphrases, steals everybody else's shtick, whatever. I can go on and on. But like, come on, man. Last year was proof that you cannot depend on the fucking Rock to do shit. I mean, how the fuck you gonna come back with the main? First of all, he tried to screw Cody and shit, and then people would try to make it seem like, oh, that whole tag team match and then Cody winning the way he did was supposed to happen the whole time. That was not supposed to happen the whole time. Don't stop that shit. And then last year with the whole being part of Cena's heel turn, first of all, I was okay with Cena turning heel. I just didn't like The Rock being involved because I know he's gonna fuck it up, which he did, because he ended up leaving out of nowhere for some other reason because he wanted Cody or whatever to be the main guy. It was stupid. It was really fucking stupid. Like, no, and I remember people saying, oh, it should be The Rock that's on Randy's ear. And I'm like, no, please, anybody but The Rock. And, of course, we got Pat McAfee, which I think is just as bad, if not worse, than The Rock. But I haven't made a video about that for a reason, because I really don't want to talk about that shit. But, yeah, no, I'm over The Rock. Like, if he's going to come back, do that stupid-ass dream match with Roman and retired already. I'm tired of this fucking dude coming back and doing bullshit. No, I don't need The Rock on my stream.
Over WWE like that wacky sword he gave to Drew McIntyre for signing a new WWE contract a couple of years ago. You never know when Dwayne's going to show up or what he's going to do. In recent years, we have seen the frankly incredible final boss character.
Sense what he does anymore. Like the Bad Blood pay-per-view, he literally took CM Punk's and Drew's main event just to come back to do this. That was stupid. That led to nothing. And then his fans were so fucking stupid that they actually said, oh, this, look what he did this, and now he's doing this, and then he did this, they get this Messina, this, that, and then he did this, that means Roman, and it's like, no, bro, no. Stop trying to make it seem like this man's a mastermind or some shit. Like, nothing he does makes sense. For Christ's sakes, he announced WrestleMania was coming to New Orleans. And now is it that same WrestleMania he announced is going to New Orleans? It's in Saudi Arabia. Like, nothing he comes back makes sense. Nothing he says makes sense anymore. Like, the fuck are we gonna do? I don't need that motherfucker coming back, man. Let that motherfucker do his bitch ass movies.
Come to life.
No, my God, I hate that.
To the night court.
Song's kind of dope, though. I'm like, no.
Check everything off your thrill list with FanDuel Casino's Rewards Club.
The build to WrestleMania 40. Then, in January 2025, he seemingly blasted every ongoing storyline he had into orbit during the Netflix premiere, including big matches with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Before he returned, made John Cena sell his soul, turn heel, and then The Rock vanished without a proper payoff. This has made Rocky something of a controversial figure amongst fans, as if he wasn't already. But there's a chaos factor that he brings to the table that simply cannot be replicated by anyone else. And frankly, I still love the big silly doofus. There's also the small matter of The Rock being a member of TKO's board of directors, something Paul Levesque is not. If Rock wants to return, he will return, regardless of what Triple H has planned.
I want him in AEW.
Shane McMahon. A lot of people will be dead against this, and I hear your complaints, but hear me out for a second. The fact is, the last couple of times we saw Shane McMahon in WWE, it was hilarious, and as he gets older and the world gets weirder, the potential for buffoonery here is immense. Shane fantasy booked himself to look like the hardest man alive in the 2022 Royal Rumble, winning a striking exchange with former UFC fighter Matt Riddle and going toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar. His performance was so overbearing that even his own maniac father chewed him up and spat him out afterwards. Then, at WrestleMania 39, he came out as a surprise opponent for The Miz, somehow got chance of "You've still got it," and immediately shredded his knee on a leapfrog. It was perhaps the most unfortunately timed injury of the modern era, and since Shane has been away, the WWE product has moved on in multitudes. It's very likely that there aren't many people asking for this return, but guys, you know me, there's a chance of something stupid happening, I'm into it. Let's go. Kevin Owens. Emotions were high ahead of WrestleMania 41 when Kevin Owens announced he'd have to drop out of a scheduled match with Randy Orton due to a serious neck injury. With KO suffering from some very severe, very worrying problems, there was talk of his situation potentially being career-threatening. So this is a delicate entry. The man should obviously do what is best for his long-term health, and there's a strong chance he won't be anywhere near ready to return by the Raw after Mania. Everything is delicately poised, and well, we all love Owens and it would be great to see him back. It might not be possible yet, but it doesn't seem impossible either, because even if Kevin isn't cleared, he could just show up on the show and do something cool anyway. The guy has spent years elevating everything he touches, be it WrestleMania main events or simple backstage segments. He can do it all, and wrestling needs more guys like that. Fingers crossed the full return isn't too far away, but if it is still far away, that's okay too.
Oh, is it? That's a video? Oh, shit. Okay. But yeah, man, I kind of agree with a lot of the returns-ish, kind of do, the debuts and stuff. But yeah, I don't need the fucking Rock on my TV screen. Fuck him. He keeps ruining shit, god damn it. Kevin Owens is someone I definitely want to see, so is Bianca Belair. But yeah, that's someone I would like to see. And yeah, why not? Why not? And yeah, that's all I pretty much got. I kind of agree with most of this here, you know, especially Shane one. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad if he comes back to WWE, because I do believe he can help WWE backstage with creative and stuff. Like, if we ignored the whole best in the world thing he did and make himself look strong, he really was doing his thing. Like, he gave AJ Styles his best WrestleMania match, and then the year before that, he gave Undertaker an amazing match. Like, come on, man, this dude knows what he was doing. But again, I'd rather see him in AEW. I would like to see him in AEW as an on-screen character and as creative. Like, I think him and Tony Khan should really do something together. But that's just me. But yeah, this video's already long, man. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. And catch you on the next one, man. Peace.